Welcome to already the 5th episode of the Conscious 500 podcast. My name is Mark van Heijden, and I'm so grateful that you're listening again to our beautiful podcast. Today, we're gonna tune into abundance. And what a beautiful topic. I have been studying abundance for many years, and I'm so excited to share all the best I've learned today in this episode with you. If you missed the last few episodes, it's good to understand that abundance is one of the 3 growth pillars of Conscious 500. And what we created is a formula called AHA. It's a sequence where we step by step move through every quarter in the network. So the first month of the quarter, we all have all the sessions connected to learning and embodying everything around alignment. So the more you are into your alignment, the more you can create harmony. So that's the second month. We practice everything around harmony, creating harmonious relationships with ourselves, with each other, the business, the world, consciousness. And then that generates abundance. So that's the topic for today's episode. And let's dive in as we speak. So abundance is something that I've been researching for so many years, and I have experienced many moments where my perception of abundance was that it had to do with having a lot of money and that you have everything you want, and that it's something that is constantly on this high of like, wow, everything is here. And what I've learned along the way, in especially the last 1.5 years of the different conversations and sessions with our members and other speakers that we connected with around this topic, and the books that we read and all the resources we shared and all the insights that came to us because we consciously decided to learn about abundance and share our perspectives about it. And the thing is, there is not one specific definition of abundance. What I want to share, though, is that abundance is infinitely connected to scarcity. And this might sound weird because isn't abundance the goal of everything, to live in full abundance? Well, abundance is the opposite of scarcity. Scarcity is something that a lot of people actually fear. And I used to fear that myself as well, because it feels like there is not enough. It could be felt as hunger or survival instinct, or there's not enough, or I need to have more and then I have abundance. There's always this kind of feeling of you need to do more and you need to create more, and it's always in the future. Because even some people I spoke with are multimillionaires and they feel scarcity. And the difference is that you can shift your perspective around this, is that scarcity is just like waves in the ocean. They're just different waves of energy. And when you start to learn that the scarcity waves are here to teach you different lessons. For example, scarcity has taught me to be super creative, to really tap into some energy sources that have got me out of really challenging situations. Scarcity has taught me to be super humble. When somebody decides to invest in me, for example, and I receive it now, I'm so grateful for it, because I know how it feels to have nothing, to be completely broke, to be crying on the kitchen floor and have nothing and asking my parents to borrow money. I've been there, I've experienced it. So the difference now is that I look back on that as one of the most beautiful teachers of my entire life. Because I learned that this is a way for me and for us as leaders to learn how to navigate with. It's something that is interconnected in our life experience, because we live in a world of duality. There's the yin and the yang, there's the masculine, the feminine, there's light and dark. There's scarcity and there's abundance. So how can we understand abundance better? Well, it's the complete opposite of scarcity. And what we do within the Conscious 500 network is we share our perspectives and resources and understanding of how abundance feels for us and how we see it, how we experience it, how we embody it in our lives. And I would love to give a few very practical examples of things that I've seen work amazingly well for everyone in the network. So one that was a great eye-opener for me is that how you take care of your body, so what you eat, how healthy you eat, how much you take care of like your inner world, really, is infinitely connected to abundance. Because if you, for example, are not eating enough or are not eating healthy enough or not enough macros, then your body thinks it is in scarcity. It's actually hungry. It doesn't have enough nutrients. It doesn't have enough fat. It doesn't have enough protein. It doesn't have enough, you name it. And when you start to, for example, track your food and what you're eating, that's consciousness. It's conscious leadership to take ownership of your own body. That's how you show up. It's the one that you carry with you everywhere. So if you're fully filled up and nourished and you feel amazing because of the amazing food you're eating, and it's such a healthy resource for, from this farmer around the corner, and you feel so good, so nourished, then your body is out of scarcity, which means you will attract and you will see more opportunities for abundance. And that's one sort of practical example that I never thought of before until one of our amazing members shared this with me. And I started to track my food and I realized I was eating like not healthy enough and definitely not enough food in general. And since I started to literally just eat exactly what's good for me and super healthy and track it and see it, use the data, connected to my consciousness to see like, okay, this is what I need, what my body needs. This is how it feels. It feels amazing. Everything started to shift and I just started to naturally attract more abundance. And because I already experienced so much scarcity, even if a wave of scarcity comes, I now just breathe through it. And then usually I just eat more if I'm hungry, because then I know, okay, my body is safe, I'm good. And then from that safety within my body, I can make the best decisions because I'm not making it from a feeling where my body is stuck and it needs to survive. So that's one practical example. Another one is also your relationship, for example, with money. If we talk about money, obviously there are a lot of different ways of how people relate with money. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of family trauma, there's a lot of judgment around money. Money is evil, you name it. There are all these different kind of stories about money. And for a lot of people, that is the main goal. I got to make more money. I have to make this amount of money. And then, I'm abundant. And that's abundance. Once I make this extra paycheck or I get the bonus, that's abundance. But then that's, again, a limiting belief. Because the true abundance is not about that extra money that you're going to get. The abundance is to feel safe within your body, to have all your basic needs met, and from there that you can be of service to give and to provide to others. And it's a bit of a paradox because, of course, if you think and feel that you don't have enough, you will start to create it and attract it. So that's another example of where consciousness and conscious leadership comes in, because what we practice and teach and support all of our members with is to reframe our relationship with money. Instead of seeing it as something that is never enough, or I'm worried about it, or I don't know how to make more money, or I don't feel I have enough clients, we bring those shadows and limiting beliefs to the table, and we create a space for all of us to transform and to alchemize it, to move through it, to create positive affirmations and a positive way of thinking, and actually start to love money. Money is just an energy, and whatever you infuse that energy with is what it will create. It creates a ripple effect. So if you keep thinking negatively about money, or from this scarcity point of view that there's never enough and I cannot find this and money is evil and I don't know how these people have so much money, you're literally creating these vibrations to the outside world, and then the universe just brings it straight back to you. Exactly what you send out is what you get back. So this is where the consciousness and the business comes together in Conscious 500, again, in a grounded way, where we learn how to have a beautiful relationship with abundance. And beyond money, seeing that the true abundance is infinite resources. And it's not so much about how much you pay someone or how much you get paid in money. It's about, again, from the alignment, creating harmonious relationships with each other that create the abundance. So you could pay someone to do something, or there might be another energy exchange that actually creates way more money for both of you than if it was the other way around. And that could be on a small scale, one-on-one, and it can also be on a huge scale with big corporates, big partnerships, big organizations, big NGOs, and really amazing, influential people that start to shift more into that mindset. And again, from a leadership perspective, it then ripples down into the organization. So actually tuning into that energy of true abundance beyond money will unlock a whole other level of how we do business. Because then every person in the company will realize, like, wait, I don't have to fight my way in this company to climb a ladder to then have enough money, because now I feel this scarcity energy, but if I get this next role then and this paycheck. No, it's like, okay, the invitation in this workspace is to all connect to the energy of abundance and let the creativity flow to open up doors that we couldn't see before. And when we all do that, we all benefit. The business grows, more money comes in, more resources, different ways to really elevate business for good, which is our mission. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an understanding of what we have learned so far, at least what I have learned so far with Conscious 500 around the topic of harmony in business. And thank you so much again for listening to this episode. I'm really looking forward to see you in the next one. Please follow us on all the channels, so Instagram, LinkedIn. Also subscribe to the podcast if you haven't yet. And if you want to give us a 5-star rating, I would be super grateful, as this will create more abundance for everyone and everyone around us. So thank you again, and I wish you a beautiful day full of abundance. So if anything from this episode resonates with you as a leader, and it can be a C-level executive, a founder of a startup or scale-up, or a solo founder that really is enthusiastic about bringing well-being and holistic practices into the workspace, and you really feel that you are a conscious leader and you want to connect with some of the most amazing conscious leaders in the world, then my invitation to you is to apply. Please go to our website, conscious500.com/membership, to learn all about it. And I'm looking forward to see you soon. And let's elevate business for good together.